When Apple announced the Vision Pro about a week ago, they very clearly did not talk about the specs. Like, how much does it weigh? What's the refresh rate of the screen? What apps are going to be supported at launch? A lot of this was left out, and since then, we've gotten answers about these things. And a lot of it is good news to talk about. There's some stuff that Apple, they didn't make entirely clear when they unveiled this product. And I just want to start off by talking about the new top head strap. You might ask, what top strap am I referring to? See, if you look on Apple's website, in every single image and video that they have uploaded of the Vision Pro headset, it just goes around the back of your head. And that specifically makes it look really cool and futuristic because most other headsets have a silly looking top band for comfort. I thought Apple had figured that out, but apparently they haven't. Because if you rewatch the unveil for the Vision Pro and you look very closely at this part of the keynote where the father is taking a video of the birthday party, then you can see there is something on the top of his head that Apple didn't show, and that is an optional top strap. Cool small detail that Apple didn't share, there's an optional top strap. Why though? Why was it only shown in a part of this? Well, it's because top straps look stupid, and you might say because it's such a small part of the keynote, it's probably not actually going to be a big part of the headset, but according to a number of the media that actually got to try the Vision Pro on, the head strap significantly helped with comfort, and a lot of them reported that they saw themselves using the headset more with the optional head strap than without it, as Apple shows everywhere else. So while Apple's not showing the top strap on the website because one, it looks dumb, and B, it makes it look similar to other headsets, it sounds like that's actually going to be a very core part of the experience, and I don't like that they hid that. I don't like that at all, because that makes me concerned about the weight of this product, which we don't know, right? Apple, again, has not released the final specification because it doesn't release until 2024 of what this thing weighs, which is very important for something on your face. In all the videos I watched, I had a very hard time finding any number, but in this one video from a German YouTuber, they claim it weighed over or about 1 pound or 500 grams, which is not light. Meta's Quest 2, which is their mainstream headset with a battery inside and processor and everything else, is 400 grams. So if this is 500 grams, that's actually going to be one of the heavier headsets, and pretty shocking to me. Again, with the external battery pack. There's not a battery in Apple's. Now, speaking of pretty impressive hardware, I want to tell you about my iPhone case made by Caseku, who sponsored today's video. What you're looking at right now is the new Magic Stand series, which has a built-in fold-out MagSafe ring that not only creates a stronger MagSafe connection, it allows you to prop up your phone in portrait or landscape to make watching, viewing content, making phone calls night and day easy. And then it just folds back into a thin and protective case with a really nice matte finish that I'm a huge fan of myself. So this is the phone case I've been rocking on my iPhone 14 Pro, and I think you should rock it too. Check out a special offer down below in the description just for you guys watching. Get your hands on the Caseku Magic Stand series. All right, now let's get back to Vision Pro. And speaking of people that have tested this headset, one thing that I found really fascinating is that Apple did not allow anyone to record their experience. They were allowed to try it on, do their thing in a controlled environment, and then they could make a video completely freely, no restriction, but they couldn't take photos or videos during the experience. Now, that's probably because, again, it doesn't come out for a while. Things are not 100% pixel perfect ready. However, I did actually find one video. It is the only video I know of in the entire world where somebody is actually wearing this and reacting to what they see in real time, and it's pretty crazy. That video is from an exclusive one-on-one with Good Morning America and Tim Cook. You know, it's cool to see Tim finally get his chance on Good Morning America. You know, some of us are veterans of the show. We've been on there a couple times over the years. It's a pretty cool thing. But in this interview, we get to see Tim Cook actually talk about the product, and specifically, we get to see the host here actually wear it, and I want to show you that now.
Oh, it's like I'm in Oregon, right there. I felt like I'm at the birthday party. I would live here. This is why, for that alone. Oh my goodness, that was, and I'm someone who meditates, and I found something new in that moment.
Now, these clips from Good Morning America don't show anything crazy, but I do find it interesting that this is the sole experience in the world that exists of someone in real time using the headset. And you'll notice something about this demo, which is that the front display is not turned on. And that's because it doesn't seem like the eyesight feature that shows your eyes and facial expressions is ready yet, which could explain like why you have not seen anyone using this aside from this one video, and specifically why no Apple executives have been seen wearing it. Apple made it very clear that eyesight is a core feature here, that they want it to feel like you're connected to the people around you and not isolated, and an image of Tim Cook wearing a completely black headset is not what this product actually is. Now, something else Apple didn't really talk about is how you're going to connect the headset to a computer. Like, there's no USB-C or Lightning port on here that we saw, but in a video that Apple published to their developer portal in a session, you can see there is a mystery USB-C adapter here. And this image shows a couple of really interesting things here. First of all, that the magnetic connector for the battery pack appears to have the ability to transfer data as well. And to the left of that, we actually see the dongle itself, which appears to have USB-C on it. We don't know what this is going to be for specifically, but likely for development in Xcode, maybe real-time rendering of your app on device, or just restoring the firmware, because, you know, having a physical way to connect the headset to something, that seems like a good idea rather than doing everything completely wirelessly. Rounding out the hardware, the screens on this are insane. But how insane are they? They're 4K on each eye, they're micro OLED, first time that's ever been used in a headset, gonna be crazy for the pixel count, right? Can you see the pixels? Apparently you can, but it's not a thing that you notice. Like, the screens are so good, it's hard to see, but if you really look, if you're really focusing on the pixels, you apparently can see pixels in this first gen version. The second part of the screen though is the refresh rate. Does this device have ProMotion? The answer is halfway there. This seems to be the first Apple display with a 90 Hertz refresh rate. That has been confirmed now. And having not tried it, I don't know if that's good enough. I assume it is. Not a single person complained about the pass-through feeling not like real life or not good enough, so I'm sure 90 Hertz is perfectly fine. Apparently though, for watching 24 frames per second cinema movies though, the refresh rate can go up to 96 technically to make it scale perfectly and feel just right when you're watching that content. So maybe it can go up to 120 Hertz if they can push it to 96 Hertz. That's a very specific number, but it seems like 90 Hertz should be the baseline overall. Also, the prescription lenses for the screens. I wear glasses, I'm gonna need the prescription lenses. How much are these going to cost? Because Apple didn't say anything other than you can get prescription lenses. And according to Bloomberg's Mark Gurman, they could range between $300 and $600 per pair. So if something happens to these, or they break or they get scratched, you're gonna have to spend another $300 to $600. Now that's, I think, a guess that has not been confirmed by Apple specifically. Would we be surprised if Apple charged $500 a pair for lenses? I don't think I would be. I'll just be sad. Now, learning new things about the hardware, that's been cool, but I have been itching to find out more about visionOS because Apple talked about it and they showed off some parts of visionOS, but they didn't go as deep as I wanted. And we now have new screenshots of the keyboard, how the gesture control works, and more. So let's start off with the keyboard. This is really cool. I don't know, kind of concerning to see. This is our first look at what that interface looks like. And this image is definitely that. It's definitely an image of the keyboard. To me, this looks like something straight out of a Meta event. It doesn't look very Apple-like, but that's because I think in this instance, the hands are rendered, but everyone says that when you actually use the headset, you don't see like the Meta stupid cartoon hands. You actually see your own hands. And I think in this session, it just looks weird because of the angle and the way it was captured. Again, these are developer sessions. This isn't the stuff that Apple exactly wanted everyone to see. But nonetheless, this image does confirm you will be able to type and input text directly in the air by using this augmented reality keyboard, which is a feature we heard in the rumors, but Apple didn't say a word about. We thought it would have to all be through Siri or maybe typing via your iPhone. No, you can type in the air directly on device. If this is the part of the headset that Apple can crack and get, I will be blown away. Using cameras to then autocorrect what you're typing in midair. I feel like this is a secretly very complex problem that Apple, again, they didn't talk about it for a reason. Another big part of the visionOS unveil was Apple talking about how FaceTime in augmented reality is going to connect you to the world around you. And a lot of people, myself included, were confused why FaceTime felt so blocky and segmented. Like everyone was in their own little boxes. Even your persona would be shown in a box, and it felt very restrictive. Like, what's the point if you're basically just looking at 2D people but sitting in a 3D space? You could just use your iPhone at that point. But as I suspected, this is not the final version of this feature. In fact, Apple, in another video that I believe was posted to their developer sessions, showed that you can break out of this box and that it will actually feel like you are in the same room with people, which is the feature that I believe could be the game-changing one for this device. Either the 3D photos and videos or FaceTime, if they can recreate an experience that feels like we're having a conversation in front of each other in 3D rather than 2D FaceTime, which is mid. And I gotta say, just getting a taste of this, seeing that this is actually a part of visionOS and that Apple isn't stopping at just the 3D persona in a box version of FaceTime, it's really convinced me that there's actually a lot of this headset that Apple didn't talk about as much as they probably wanted to in this initial unveil, and that bigger things are in the works still. Okay, but how do you control visionOS? It's all through gestures. So I talked about in my first secret features video about the headset that it's all eye tracking, and then you basically just pinch when you look at something to select it. Like your eyes are essentially the cursor. And now we know all of the different controls that are built into this. You've got tap, double tap, and even a pinch and hold option, which might be like a right click. The last one for one hand is a pinch and a drag. And then you've got a two hand. So to zoom into something with the headset, you will pull apart like that. And then you can even rotate an object, again, just using your hands. This is beyond fascinating to me because using controllers, you're very restrictive and it feels very foreign. I've seen a lot of people hate on Apple for the gestures, but I think this is the right call. These are your hands. We use them to interact with the world around us. It doesn't make sense to put a controller or something else in the middle of that. Just make it feel human. And this looks like that. By the way, we've heard from testers that the hand tracking is absolutely cracked out. Some folks said they even tried to hide their hand in areas to where the cameras couldn't see it, and the camera, the Vision Pro, still saw the gestures perfectly. Even at night, even in the dark, it works. And that's, again, a problem that Apple solved here that no one else has even come close to solving. Finally, rounding out the software, there's been a lot of questions about apps. And we know that this device can run almost all iPad apps without any work from developers. But one YouTuber, Maddie, actually confirmed that Final Cut Pro will be supported on this device at launch, which was something that was kind of implied before, but considering that Final Cut just came to iPadOS, we weren't sure if it would make its way to the Vision, but it does seem that will be on here. And as somebody who uses Final Cuts and edit on my computer, being able to edit in 3D, grabbing footage. I mean, this device I am still fascinated by. I'm a little worried about the weight and the top strap, slightly about the pixels on the screen. I don't think that's going to be a big deal. The speaker system appear seemingly incredible. I have no concerns about that. But there were a few things that I learned that I just had to share with you because obviously I can't wait to get my hands on this. I am just beyond enthralled with what this is going to feel like. And I want to hear your thoughts, a bit into this release. We're still months away from it actually coming out, but what are your thoughts about it? Have you changed? Were you a hater at first? You love it now? Vice versa? Are you getting it? Are you spending $34.99, $3,500 on this product? Let me know down below. Thank you guys so much for watching. I've been Sam. Hope you're doing well. I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.